Get comfy. No, you're perfect there, to be honest. That way you can kind of take a look and copy and yeah. Yeah. Hello. Right. We are waiting for a couple more people online, but it is about quarter past, so we're going to get started. So, usual thing, feel free to have cameras on or off, your choice. And yeah, all the stuff. If you're at home, benefit is you can have your blanket nearby or whatever it is to get cozy at the end. Um, yeah, let's get started. I'm sure people are stuck in other so they'll join when they join. Cool. All right. Okay, so welcome. So thank you for joining us both in person and online. And I've been theming these classes. So it started last week, particularly this Monday class on the elements. So last week was all about water and it was all about being fluid and creative and things like that. And today, and I think this is suiting everyone at the end of January, the theme is earth. So the idea of being like grounded in the moment, steady, hopefully stuff that we can kind of take with us for the rest of the week. That's the idea anyway. So with that in mind, I'm going to invite you to lay yourself down. So you can come down onto your back when you're ready. And don't worry if you can't see me because you can hear my voice. That's perfect. Amazing. And then as soon as you get to the ground, I want you to bend both your knees, place your feet on your mat. Nice. And then shuffle your feet a little bit further apart so you've got this great base underneath you. And then if it's comfy for you, I want you to take your hands and place them gently onto your belly. The lower belly might be nice. All right. Take any last fidgets, just make sure that you're comfortable. So if you feel like you want to move the shoulders or you want to move the hips a little bit, go for it. And then eventually you start to get a little bit closer to stillness. And just take a really gentle breath in through your nose. And then a really gentle breath out, any way that feels good. And here at the start of your yoga on this Monday afternoon, welcome yourself here. You've made it. That's the hard part done, 100%. And all you've got to do from this moment is listen to my voice, follow along. And what's, I think, great about yoga is that it's all about listening to yourself, your body, and what you need in this moment. And we're all different, so that's going to look a little different person to person. And actually, that's going to be different from you this time last week, or maybe even yesterday. So with that in mind, stay exactly where you are. And I want you to bring your attention now to your body on your mat. Start to notice all of the places that you're making contact with the mat underneath you. And you might silently in your own head list them. So for example, you might alternate on the ground. Notice if there's parts of your arms that are laying inside that. Notice if there's parts of your back, the upper back, back of your shoulders, maybe the middle of the back. And then there's usually a little bit of a curve in the lowest part of your back. Really, really kind of human and normal of us. Back of the head, perhaps. And anywhere else that you can notice the ground. And for our theme today, we're going to use a really simple affirmation. We're going to say it, but we're going to say it silently in our own head. So our affirmation for today, if we're thinking about being a little more earthy, whatever that means to us, in fact, there's two. So repeating after me silently in your own head, I want you to say the words, I am supported. And one more time, I am supported. Even if it feels a little bit silly, go with it. Now we're starting our practice today with, as usual, a breath exercise, or a pranayama as we call them. And the breath exercise we're going to do today is we're going to do an extended exhale. So that means that our out breath is going to be a little bit longer than our in breath. As soon as we start to lengthen the out breath, it starts to help us undo tension and actually move into our rest and digest state, our like calmer nervous system. So keeping the hands on the belly, you might slide one hand gently up onto the ribs. That could be helpful. I just want you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Feel all that fresh air pour in. Yeah, lovely. And then a nice long exhale. Now that might be out through the nose, or if that's uncomfortable, it can be out through the mouth, your choice. Now we're going to start a breath pattern. I'll count us, where we'll breathe in for 4, we'll hold for 2, and then we're going to breathe out for 6. Now, as always, if you need to stop and just take a normal breath at any point, please do. You're so welcome. Okay. So let's go for it. When you're ready, breathe all the way out. Get rid of every drop of breath. And start to breathe in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding that breath in for 1 and 2. And now breathing all the way out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really nice. We're going to do that again. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Holding it gently. 1, 2. And then breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more of those together. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top. 1, 2. Letting it go. 2, 3, 4. Every drop of breath. 5, 6. Really nice. Just take a normal breath all the way in through the nose and all the way back out again. Lovely. Let that go and keep your eyes closed. Just take a moment and check in and notice how that feels. Sometimes even just a few rounds of a really simple deep breath can make all the difference. So notice if that has kind of helped you land. And then I want you to start to wriggle your fingertips, wriggle your toes, maybe lick your lips. Just kind of come back into the room. Start to breathe in, take both arms over your head. Imagine you're like a puppet and they're getting pulled behind you. Open your mouth wide. See if you can invite a yawn. Might be fake. See if you can turn it into a real one. And then you might gently slide one leg long and the other, but just check in. If the lower back doesn't like that, then just keep the knees bent because we're just getting going. Beautiful. Imagine you've just woken up from a fantastic nap, but you're just yawning and stretching. You might reach one arm long and then the other, or maybe you turn the wrists a few times and the feet, wiggle the toes. Ooh. And then in the next few moments, bend your knees once again, pop your feet back on the mat and float your arms back down at your side. Lovely. Take your arms this time, open them wide like a letter T, so they're totally relaxed at your sides. That's it. So take them right out at your sides. You've got it. And then turn your palms to face upwards. Beautiful. Now, feet. Start to shuffle them apart and make the outside edges of your mat underneath them. So you're taking them really wide. Beautiful. Take a big breath in through your nose. And now keep the feet where they are and let both your knees drop over to the right. So they're both going in the same direction. You got it. Perfect. All right. So we're just going to stay here for a moment. Let yourself be heavy and supported. That's our affirmation for today. Nice wide open chest. And then squeeze your belly, bring your knees back through center and slowly drop them over to the left. Same thing. Lovely. We're just getting going. So checking in. How's the body feeling on this Monday? Squeeze the belly, bring those knees back through center. We're just going to do that one more time. So drop them over. Don't worry how far they go. Just let them kind of hang out. And then slowly back through center and drop the knees over to the left. We're just getting a really gentle stretch through our spine, twist. Slowly bring those knees back up, shuffle them together, and then lift your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around, give yourself a big squeeze, a hug. And as you squeeze your knees towards you, you might rock gently side to side, maybe just massaging out your spine on this nice hard floor underneath us. Lovely. Now, bring your knees together, keep them lifted, pop a hand on each knee. And now we're going to draw some opposite circles. So squeeze the knees towards you, use your hands, take the knees apart and away, and then now take the knees down towards your feet, and then bring them gently back together. That's it, you've got it. We're going to take some of those circles. I want you to move slowly, carefully, noticing as you go how this feels. Can you feel this in the hips, the tops of your legs? You might feel this also in your lower back as it gets a little bit of a massage on the ground. If you want to, you might take those circles in the opposite direction. It's good for our brain, our proprioception. Sometimes that can really help get us out of a busy thought spiral as well. Lovely. Now bring those knees together, let go, and then send your feet straight up to the sky. Now send both arms up to the sky, so you're like a little bug that's stuck on its back, and then just circle your feet and wrists and toes and fingers in any direction you like, anything that feels good. And you might just watch the pattern you're making with your hands and your feet, just giving your brain something to do. Feeling the backs of the legs start to wake up. Don't worry if the legs aren't straight. Just kind of work with where you are. And then let that go and bend your knees towards you. Beautiful. Hands to the knees. Give yourself one more really good squeeze as you inhale. Knees towards the chest. Let go. Exhale. Feet come down onto the mat. Lovely. Now from here, take both arms over your head. This time, I want you to open the foot to the diagonal and just kind of hang out there. So palms are facing towards the sky. You've got this open shape. Now start to straighten out your right leg long down the mat. Beautiful. And then just let your left knee open. So you're coming into what we might call a supine tree or a tree on the ground. Okay. Now we're not here for long, about 2 or maybe 3 big breaths. Now I want you to see if you can really embody that theme of earth today. So can you let go of both of your shoulders? Let go your left knee be nice and heavy. Maybe even relaxing all the muscles in your face. Take an easy breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just sink a little deeper. Let your tree kind of, whatever that means. Beautiful. Bring that left knee back up. And then bend your right knee towards you. This time, you're going to put your right foot onto the left thigh. So you're lifting the right leg, pop right ankle onto left thigh. And then start to open your right knee and thigh away from you. That's it. So you've got this nice kind of triangle shape between the legs. Now you can stay here if you're feeling a good stretch in the hip, especially the right hip, and then you might just rock gently side to side. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more sensation this afternoon, then we're going to come into our figure 4. So if you want to, lift your left knee towards you. Lift head, neck, and shoulders, reach behind the left thigh, interlace the fingers. And then you can either keep the head out or you're going to lay the head back down if it's available. So loads of options there. Now come back to that breath. Breathe into all of these muscles that we're stretching this afternoon. And you might stay still, you might take a gentle rock side to side if that feels good. Inhaling through your nose. And as you breathe out, we're just breathing away some of that tension that we don't want to carry with us for the rest of the day and the rest of our week. All right, lovely. If you've got that left foot lifted, let go of your fingers, let the left foot come back to the mat. Now, I want you to keep that right foot where it is and open up your arms in a big letter T, palms facing up once again. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and now I want you to drop your lower body, everything that's going on, over to the left. So your right foot is almost heading to the ground on the side, on the left side of you. Beautiful. Keep shining your right knee towards the sky. Don't worry if your right foot doesn't come to the ground. Mine isn't either, so wherever it goes is good. You can stay. If you feel like there's space in the neck, you could turn your head the opposite direction. Remember, the spine goes all the way into our skull, our neck, so that could feel good. Just before we come out of this, I want you to take a really big breath into the whole of your spine, from your tail all the way to the crown of your head. Beautiful. Great. Bring everything back up to center and then pop your right foot down. Lovely. Now from here, we just do a little reset before we come on to the other side. So take both arms over your head, stretch out both legs, big yawn, point your toes, reach away. And you might notice that you feel a little bit skewy, maybe a bit heavier on one side than the other. Bend your knees and bring your arms back down at your sides when you're ready. Perfect. Okay, we're going to take that all on the left side now. So when you're ready, open your arms out, ready for your tree. So they're up to the diagonal corners of the room above your head. Stretch your left leg long down the mat and then let gravity take over and let your right knee open. Okay, beautiful. Let go of your body. Bring your attention softly to your breath. This is one of those poses where if someone walked in the studio now, they might not think we're doing very much. But actually, these poses can be very challenging, asking ourselves to be still and unwind. So let's see if we can help. Let's see if we can take a breath in through the nose. Just really loving, soft breath out. Relax your jaw. And then when you're ready, let's bring that right knee back up to face the sky. Bend your left knee all the way in towards the chest. Pop your left ankle on your right thigh. And then open that knee. See if you can feel a bit of sensation there at the top of the left leg. You might rock that side to side. If you want to take this into your figure four, like you did on the other side, then start to lift right knee towards you. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and lay your head back down. Come back to that breath. You can stay still, or if it feels better to kind of rock a little, that could be really nice. Take one more big breath into the place that you're feeling this. And let's undo and let your right foot come gently to the mat. Beautiful. We finish all this off with that twist. Open your arms wide at your sides, letter T. And now keeping the left foot on the right thigh, dropping the whole thing over to the right this time. Just settle in, find your breath. Twists are, of course, fantastic for our spinal health, which is great. We'll take that. We also have lots of nerves that live around the spine. So it's amazing when we take a twist, the effect it can have on our nervous system. So take a big, loving breath into all the places you can feel this. And then little squeeze of the belly brings those knees back up to center. And then you can undo, unravel. And then just to finish that off, whatever feels right. So if you feel like you want to take another full body stretch, this time, hopefully finding a bit more balance, that could be nice. Or if you want to drop the knees one way and the other, a little bit of those windscreen wiper knees we took at the beginning, you could take those just to kind of soften, or even a final hug of the knees. Maybe you do a little bit of all three of those things. Beautiful. Now we're going to come up to a seat. However you get there is good with me. So you might just kind of grab the knees and a little bit of momentum brings you up, or you can potter up with your hands. And then we're going to come straight onto hands and knees. You can swing your legs around. Oh, lovely. So wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And then looking down and forward on your mat, start to draw 3 slow circles to the right. Take your time. Bringing a little bit of weight gently forward into the wrists. If that's not feeling good, you can always come on to those fists as well. 3-ish circles to the right, and then we're going to take that to the left. And there's a bit of, I can't think of the right word, but there's like a little bit of sort of gooiness in the spine as we go as well. You might enjoy. All right, gently bring that back to center. We're going to come into a downward facing dog now. We've been on the ground and long longer than we normally have, probably because it's an earth. So now we're going to lift the energy a bit. Take your hands nice and wide, fingers really, really wide, especially your kind of index finger slightly facing forwards. Tuck your toes, hip width apart, and then start to send your hips up and back. As you do, your chest moves back towards your thighs, and you're going to keep a nice bend in the knees. If it feels good, start to pedal out your feet, bending one knee and then bending the other on the spot, waking up the back of your body, checking in with any clicks and pops and things like that. And then as you kind of walk your dog, as we call it, then you might shake out the head, make sure there's no tension in the head and neck. So shake it yes, a little nod, then shake it no, side to side. And then see if your head and neck can totally hang between the arms. So you look back towards your feet. Come to stillness now. Dog, I want you to widen your lower back, shine your hips up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Beautiful. Now, bend your knees a lot, look forwards. We're going to take a little crisscross walk up our mat. So imagine you've got a line drawn up the middle of your mat, maybe you have, and then you're crisscrossing on your tiptoes, making your way all the way to the top. Beautiful. Now, take feet hip width apart, bend your knees a lot, let your upper body completely hang there, and then let go of your head, shake it again, yes, no. Beautiful. Can you take a deep breath in, breathing into your spine, bend your knees another half an inch and just let your whole spine decompress so everything just kind of goes, beautiful. Now, I want you to take your indexes, pop them on the front of your ankles, tuck your chin, and now, slowly as your feet press into the earth, rolling up through your spine. And eventually, the head is going to be the very last thing to pop up. Nice. Take a moment when you get there. See how it feels to be upright, and then pop your feet underneath you, hip width apart. Beautiful. Bring your arms down at your sides, turn the palms to face softly forwards. And then I just want you to find something to gaze at eye level just in front of you. Now keep all that there and bring your hands softly together. Give them a really good squeeze. Beautiful. We're going to begin a little bit of flow because even though it's gentle, it is lunchtime. So we don't quite want to send ourselves off into bed just yet. So with that in mind, take a deep breath in. Exhale, release our arms down at our sides. On your next in breath, take your arms out and up. Let your fingertips kiss as you look at them. And then exhale, open your arms wide, bend your knees and dive down right back into that forward fold. On your inhale, start to straighten out both legs. Bring your hands, or everyone, to the above your knees, to your thighs. And then I want you to straighten out your legs, push your thighs away, widen your lower back, shine your heart and look down and just feel, hopefully, pretty juicy stretch down the backs of your legs. Take a big sip of air. And now bend your knees and then let your spine hang once again. Yeah, really nice. Now we're coming right back up to standing. Find your feet, bend your knees, come up as you breathe in, let the fingertips kiss, gazes at the thumbs. Exhale, hands come down in front of the heart. Beautiful. And that gaze, steady, inhale. Exhale, release the arms. On your next in breath, take them right back up. This time, they're going to face forwards. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. And now making your right side really long, I want you to take a side stretch over to the left as your hips gently move to the right. Imagine you're making like a half moon shape. Really nice. Come back to center. Lovely. Switch over. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. And then that half moon over to the right. And come back to center. Now stay standing, hands swing to your lower back, fingers can face down, or if you're looking for something with a lot more sensation, fingers flip to face up. Move your hips forward, lift your heart, and draw your elbows as if they want to touch behind you. Look up towards the ceiling. If you're in the studio, you can enjoy the very beautiful ceiling here with all the lights. And take a big breath in. And then little squeeze of the belly brings you back to center, and just slide your hands down at your sides as your spine kind of finds neutral once again. Beautiful. Turn the palms at your sides to face forwards. Find both your big toes underneath you and find that steady gaze. Now stay there. Let your eyes close down. And we're just going to come back to that affirmation. You don't need to think about it or give it a story. We're just resetting it. So in your own head, silently, you'll say the words, I am supported. I am supported. And with that, you might notice your feet underneath you pressing into the earth. I want you to imagine that there's a whole other mirror image of you from the feet down. Bring your attention to your knees, and if they're locked out, that's a really common thing us humans do. See if you can ever so slightly bend your knees and really feel your feet underneath you. So you've got this great base. From there, widen your shoulders. Imagine you've got a long piece of silver string running all the way up through your spine. It's shooting out the top of your head. Just before we move on, just notice how it feels to stand like this, stable, steady, balanced. This is absolutely the complete opposite of how I stand if I'm shopping in Tesco. Take a really nice deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale, and you just kind of relax your arms at your sides and take a few blinks of the eyes, bringing them back open. Lovely. On your inhale, take your arms right back up again. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your elbows, bend your knees. Halfway lift. So inhale, straighten out the legs once again, look forwards. Exhale, let that go. Forward fold. Beautiful. Breath brings you all the way back up. So big, big breath in as the fingertips kiss above you. Gaze up. Exhale, hands come down in front of the heart. Squeeze your palms, stand tall, breathe in. Exhale to release. Lovely. So we're just going to get into the neck and shoulders a little bit, because I don't know about you, but that's the first place everything goes when I'm tense. This. So with that in mind, your arms at your sides once again. Close your eyes. And I just want you to turn your head over to the right side of the room. It's only going to go as far as it goes. And then back through center and turn your head over to the left. And back through center. And then just one more time, turn your head over to the right. And then slowly turn your head over to the left. Come back to center, drop your chin down towards your chest, feel a stretch down the back of your neck. And then lift your chin up to the sky, so like a really slow yes. Chin to chest, chin to the sky. Now this time, drop your chin to your chest. I want you to hang out there. Maybe that's as far as you go, or interlacing your fingers and then placing that interlace not on the back of your neck, but gently on the back of the head itself. And letting the elbows kind of be a bit of a weight. Now you'll know if that feels right. If it feels a little bit much, you can just have the arms at your sides. And just breathe. Lovely. Now keep the interlace, lift your head back up to neutral. I want you to just open your elbows wide, lift the chest, look up, and then release. And just draw a big old circle and open that up and take that behind you. Oh. Beautiful. We're going to finish all that off, popping our fingertips on our shoulders. Let your elbows be a lovely weight at your sides. And then start to bring the elbows as if they want to touch in front of you. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Now curve the upper part of your back. Breathe in and feel that skin across your back stretch. And then take your elbows up. So lift them up towards the sky, wherever your up is. And then open them away from each other, drawing a big circle. And then keep your fingers on your shoulders. Let your elbows come down at your sides. So they're like a little bit of weight here. And then very slowly and gently, you'll know if this feels right for you. Just a little movement of the head and neck. So you can go in any direction you like. I'm kind of taking a very slow nod to the right. Looking down a little. Over to the left. Maybe a little tilt of the head. Maybe a little circle of the neck. Welcoming all those clicks and pops and things like that. Punches. And then in the next few moments, let that go and then just release the arms and let them come down at your sides. Beautiful. Okay. So from this place we're at, the top of our mat, we're going to do one last pose, which is our goddess. This is the first pose. Whenever you think of being grounded or earthy in yoga, we always do our goddess. So we have to do it. So don't worry too much, especially if you're at home of what way you're facing, but just make sure that you're at the top of the mat. And then I'm going to step my left foot back. So if you're in the studio, yeah, exactly. And then you're going to turn. So don't worry, I know you're not going to be facing me, but turn towards the long edge. Feet are wide, and then from this position, bring your heels in and your toes out, kind of ballet style. Nice. Now, from here, imagine you've got a lovely brick wall behind you. Bring your hands to your hips, a bit like the time warp. And then I want you to bend your knees and send them nice and wide. And this is where it gets tricky because the knees are trying to go out and back over the feet, which I find so tricky. Beautiful. Okay. Now you can keep the hands on the hips, or you can bring your hands to your thighs, and maybe we relax for a moment away from that wall and just get like a little bit more into it. Beautiful. Now you can stay still, or you might join me in starting to just rock gently side to side, using your hands to encourage those hips to open. So I'm kind of, I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm kind of leaning into one side and then leaning into the other a little bit. And this is a kind of pose that a lot of us find really, really challenging. Beautiful. Now, stay there. Keep your knees bent. Final moment. Bring your hands again, either to Anjali Mudra, which is like a prayer. Tuck your chin. Lean back, there's a wall behind you. Keep opening those knees. And we're here for 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. You've got this. Exhale. 1 more round of that. Yes, so beautiful. Okay, now press into your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Release your arms at your sides. Inhale. We just take the arms right up to the sky. A little refreshing sun breath. And then the arms float back down at our sides as we exhale. Well done. Turn those feet to face forward. Step yourself to the top of your mat. Take an inhale as the arms come all the way up. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, forward fold, down, let go of your head. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten out your legs, look forwards. Exhale, let that go. Pop your hands on the mat. We're going to come down one knee and then the other, back to all fours. And then bring your knees together, hips to one side, and swing the legs around. And we're back on the ground. Okay, now legs long, lean back. And as you look at your feet, big toes in particular, just start to draw outward circles with them one way and then going the other way. Lovely. Shake out your legs so you don't worry if it makes like a little bit of sound on the ground underneath you, and then bring your feet under you, shuffle them wide, and then just like we did at the beginning, windscreen wipers. And you might notice if it feels like, I don't know, a little bit more spacious now or just a little bit easier. Beautiful. Bring yourself to the top of your mat. And then from here, we're coming all the way to the ground. You can come down to elbows. And then eventually wriggling and coming back to the nice supportive ground. As soon as you get to the ground, bend your knees, take your feet a little wider, and just let your knees knock together. Place a hand on your belly, I don't mind which, and then other hand could come to the ribs or even up onto the heart. I'll let you choose. Now, here, just for this moment, after all that gentle movement, breath, just want you to notice how the ground feels at this point. Bring your attention back to your breath, just like we did at the beginning. Notice that fresh air gently coming in through the nose. Maybe noticing your whole body soften as you exhale. Now notice, bring your attention to your belly. Notice if you're holding on to your belly in any way. This is something that's very human of us. We all do it. In some ways, it can feel quite vulnerable to let go of our bellies, particularly as women. So as you take a really loving, soft breath in, I just invite you to let go of your soft belly. Just let it be. Just see what that feels like. And from there, just shuffle your feet back underneath you once again. Draw both your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a lovely big squeeze and a hug. And you might rock side to side, or you might draw some small circles with your knees one way and the other. Now we're going to take our happy baby pose, one of my favorite poses. So for this, you're going to keep your knees bent, but take them wide apart. Reach in between the legs, and if you can, you're going to grab the feet. Now you might hook your fingers around your big toe, or you might reach for anywhere on the feet you can grab. Now, start to open your feet towards the sky, but keep bending your knees. Think about drawing your feet back towards you. And think about your spine being lovely and long. You can stay still, or some people like to find a little bit of a natural rock in their happy baby. That might feel quite therapeutic and just relaxing. Just take a few breaths. What's great about happy baby is we take the feet up, so we invert ourselves. Feet are high, heart is low. And there are so many benefits that come with inversions. We send the blood flow back down towards the heart. But it can also offer a feeling of peacefulness, because again, it moves us into our softer part of our nervous system. So sometimes people describe feeling a little bit more peaceful when the feet are up like this, a wave of peace. It's also really good for digestion, this one as well. In the next few moments, we'll gently let go of the feet. Try not to sort of catapult out. Let them land back on the earth when they're ready. Lovely. So we're going to take one final twist. Bear in mind, we've done quite a bit of twisting together this afternoon. So I'm hoping that this feels really lovely at this point. Now, what I'll do is I'll offer us two versions and you can choose which feels right for your body. And just a reminder that stronger doesn't mean better. It just means stronger, which is what I love about yoga. So if you think, oh yeah, I really want that juicy twist, take it. Open your arms wide, last time today. Lift those knees up. Now, either option A, just going to now drop both those knees over to the right and just let yourself be lovely and weighty and heavy. And here you might take your right hand, maybe you bring it to the belly or the ribs or to the tops of the knees. And you might even look upwards or over to the left side of the room. If you are looking for something a little stronger, then you're going to cross, this is where I have to use my brain there. You're going to cross your right leg over the left, like you're sat at a table, and then drop over to the right. Now that is strong, as I'm remembering, as I'm taking it. Let's see what feels good. You might take a bit of both. Close down your eyes. Relax your jaw. And take a big, big breath into all that lovely space that you've created this afternoon. A little squeeze of the belly brings that whole thing back up. If you've got the legs twisted, then unravel them. And then from here, we'll come on to that left side. So either you're bending the knees, crossing the left over the right, or the knees are together as they softly drop over to left. Again, perhaps the left hand comes to the ribs or the belly. Maybe the head turns in the opposite direction. And there is nothing to do here but let gravity do its thing. That's all that's left at this point. So can you, just for these final few moments on this side, let yourself be weighty and supported and grounded. Find a nice, easy breath. In the next few moments, you're going to bring those knees gently back up, and then undo and unravel. From here, take any final movement that might feel nice, only if it's calling. So if you feel like you want a final hug of the knees or a big full body stretch at this point, just kind of see what's going on, then that's there. And this is also the time when we're going to prepare ourselves because we're coming into our final rest, our Shavasana, the last few moments of class. So it'd be a really good idea to grab a blanket if you've got one. And then as you come down onto your back, you're going to lay it over yourself so that you're warm and that you've got that weight of the blanket as well. And if you're at home, you can go to town. Grab your quilt or whatever it is. So we're going to take our time setting up for this. I want you to lay yourself down and then take your feet a little bit wider, and that width apart. And just let your feet fall open to the sides. Just let them flop. Hands, now they might stay on the belly. We've been doing a lot of that today. So if that's just feeling really like comforting and lovely, then great. Or maybe they come down at your sides, palms facing upwards, fingers soft. Your choice. Now, everyone take a really gentle breath in through your nose. And then a really soft sigh out through the mouth, like a letting everything we've done today go. And for these final few moments now, you've got my total permission to close your eyes. Allow yourself to be completely supported by your mat. Let your thoughts go wherever they go. And we'll come back together in just a moment, and I'll let you know when that is. So just gently start to bring your attention back into the space that you're in. And just like we did at the beginning, become aware of all the parts of your body that are making contact with the ground right now. You can start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And then the next kind of few moments are yours. So if you feel like you want a little bit of movement, maybe a stretch just to come back into your body, ready for your, excuse me, journey home or whatever's next in your day. Maybe you kind of lick your lips. And then from there, whatever that looks like, there's no rush. We're going to meet back in a seat. So we'll finish our practice together in a seated position. Maybe the legs are crossed, or maybe you've kind of got a leg unraveled. And then we will find that seat, hands come together in Anjali Mudra in that prayer. Close down your eyes one last time. Find that long spine. And here at the very end of our practice, as we're about to all head back into our days, off in different directions, my invitation for you, and I'll send it to myself as well, is to see if we can take a little of what we found here and let it trickle into the rest of our day. So that groundedness, that steadiness, so no matter what's ahead of us for the rest of our day, we've got this great base to work from. With that in mind, I want you to send yourself a lovely silent thank you, because that's the work that you've done and the effort you've made in coming to your mat. So well done. Bring that prayer up to that space between your eyebrows. Take a big breath in, send yourself a big silent thank you. And then we'll just take a little gentle bow of thanks to each other and to ourselves. And when you feel ready, you can think about blinking open your eyes and coming back into the room. Thank you so much. It's so lovely to practice with you. And thank you if you've joined me from home as well. Well done. I hope you have a lovely rest of your, what day is it? Monday. So take your time. There's no rush getting up. Thank you.